Hey guys, it's me Kevin and welcome back to Roblox Reviews. Epic Minigames got an update recently, which added a bunch of new shop items as well as 5 new maps to minigames. But the most notable part of the update was the addition of 3 new minigames: Ring Diver, Romper Stomper and Mania. Today in this video I'm going to go over how these minigames work and what I think of the minigames themselves. So to start off, we'll review Ring Diver. Ring Diver takes place underwater and your view is locked in a headfirst position. The aim of the game is to go through as many hoops as you can, the white hoops being worth 1 point and the gold hoops being worth 3 points. The 3 people with the most amount of points after the 1 minute mark wins the game. In my opinion, Ring Diver is a quite creative concept because it is a game concept that hasn't been used that much in Roblox or Epic Minigames. Yes, there have been games where the 3 most people with the most amount of points after collecting something will win the game. However, it hasn't been used in the concept of rings before. The only real problem with the game is that on computer, given that you're trying to control the character with the buttons, it's harder to aim for the hoops. On iPad, given that you have more control over the agility of your character, it's easier to go through the hoops. Overall, this game is a quite creative game and is also fun, and that's why I'll give it a pass. The same cannot be said for Romper Stomper. Where do I start with that game? That game was an absolute disaster. Alright, so how does the game work? So one person is in a romper mech and has to stomp on the 11 players before time is up, which is 1 minute. A good concept, right? So how can it be bad? The mech itself. The mech, for some reason, half the time likes to stay stationary, and when it actually does work, it's hard to stomp the players. You can go all the way right up next to the person where the person is directly below you, yet the person still survives, because guess what? You need the foot to stomp on the player, and even then, it's hard to do. It's hard to control, especially on iPad. The mech doesn't work half the time. It stays at a stationary pace. And then sometimes, when you want to bounce off and create a blast, for some reason that doesn't register either and the player still survives. So, overall the mech is broken. In addition, for those people that think, oh, we'll just hide in these little huts and we'll survive because the mech won't be able to find us, well, guess what? As long as he's in half a map's range of you, he can see where you are with the targets. So guess what? You cannot hide anywhere on this game. This is bad. Given other hide-and-seek matches where it's hard to find the player but easy to kill the player, this is the other way around. Easy to find but hard to kill, which just makes this game bad. This game, Romper Stomper, suffers from gameplay dysfunctionalities. It could be so much fun, that game, but it won't be fun until typical type fixes the mech. Until then, it's going to stay on my hated list. Lastly, I'll review the game Mania. So Mania has its similarities to Tile Takeover, given that the objective of both games is to try and claim as much territory for your team, and given the fact that they're both on square fields. But there are differences. In Mania, the 2 teams are on 2 different fields, and also they cannot lose the territory they've gained. Now, in my opinion, Mania is an improved version of Tile Takeover. That's not to say Tile Takeover is bad. In my opinion, I don't mind the game. I think it's a good game as well, given that in Tile Takeover, both teams are fighting over the same lane, whilst in Mania, it's more of a time trial who can cover the most lane quickest. But the one thing that I like about Mania better than Tile Takeover is that you're less likely to be teamed up with a bunch of idiots that don't know what they're doing and don't have any clue to gameplay it. Mania is just mine around the grass, try and cover as much grass as you can, whilst Tile Takeover, you can be put in a bad team and the other team can absolutely outsmart you. So that's why I think Mania is better than Tile Takeover. I like both games and I think both games are fun to play. So there you have it. My opinion on the 3 minigames. 2 of them, Ring Diver and Mania, are pretty fun to play, while Romper Stomper has potential to be a fun game, but for that to happen, it needs its mech to be fixed. Anyway, I'm looking forward to new mini games that come out in the future, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.